Oh my gosh. You guys, seriously, we finally did it. We finally got Nintendo to get with the times. I actually think this is really, really cool. A bunch of you guys have actually been linking this to me on my Twitter feed, but my brother is actually the one who ended up sending me this post, and I think that's absolutely awesome and cool enough that it warrants me talking about it, even though everybody's virtually talking about it. But I just wanted to mention this to any of those of you that, you know, haven't already seen all the posts by like IGN, Polygon, and all of those news articles talking about this stuff. But Nintendo basically is finally going to be changing their monetization program, and basically the way that it works right now, and this new program is only going to take effect at the end of December of this year. So despite the fact that you see all the clickbait saying that the Nintendo's creative program is dead, it's not done yet. It's still going on until the end of December. But what essentially ends up happening with YouTube and Nintendo is a very backwards company. In a lot of ways, it's because the Japanese and YouTube and stuff like that, like social media, it's just it's very different there. You know, like it doesn't really work the same as it does with us North Americans or Europeans and stuff like that. And so Nintendo sees more the identity of Mario being their property, and so that's why they constantly take monetization away from people that would actually upload videos of Nintendo content, which ends up making things very difficult for content creators, and also a huge hypocrisy for Nintendo themselves as a company, myself included. You know, I've done so many Nintendo videos in the past. I love Nintendo. They're a fantastic company, regardless of what, you know, all the controversy that goes on with YouTube. But if there's one thing that myself and many other people just get so frustrated at, is it felt like Nintendo was more so bullying their own fan base rather than supporting their own fan base. So essentially what I would do now is, if I ever end up uploading a Nintendo related video, you have to go through this really long process of not only applying to their creators program and being accepted in the first place, but you basically have to have your video unlisted so that you can link Nintendo to it, and then somebody on their end physically has to go to your video, make sure that it meets their requirements, and then they say, okay, sure, we'll monetize this, but we're going to take a huge percentage of the money that you could make off of this video, on top of YouTube taking their small cut as well. So just to put it into perspective, it's not like my you know, recent Nintendo videos have been making like the most views ever or anything like that, but when I did like my Zelda Let's Play series or my Mario Odyssey series, I pretty much get like a message from Nintendo like every month that says I've made like 4 cents. I'm not even kidding. And there's something horribly wrong there. You know, even if the videos aren't necessarily popular, which I understand, you know, the relevancy of the videos and blah, blah, blah. You don't care about that. But throughout this whole process and throughout making a living on YouTube, you know, it's like, it's almost like doing volunteer work. And so if there's a Nintendo game that is dear enough to your heart, I say you just play it anyways. Like when I played through the Mario Odyssey series, I enjoyed the heck out of it just myself, regardless of the fact that every single one of those videos ended up getting claimed by Nintendo and I didn't make a cent off of the series. But it was a good enough game that it warranted actually playing through it. But through that experience, I kind of decided to hold back with the whole Smash Bros. And, you know, even with the Metroid game that potentially could be coming out next year, because I'm a huge Metroid fan. But honestly speaking, I was getting really, really tired of how Nintendo was actually operating, because on top of having to have your videos unlisted in order to end up getting them monetized in the first place, it means that you wouldn't be able to schedule the upload. So I would have to purposefully upload and set those videos to public at specific dates and times. And you know, for somebody like myself, where I like to have regular uploads going on, especially with the newest game, you pretty much have to upload it daily. Otherwise, you're pretty much screwed as far as the relevancy is concerned. So if you have like a game like Mario Odyssey, it's hot. You gotta have the videos coming out every day. But you're not going to have those videos be monetized for a couple days, and the views are initially within those first couple days, thus kind of taking away from the program and making the Nintendo's creative program even worse as far as a content creator. Now, There's a lot of other channels out there that just do solely Nintendo games, and I remember back around the time when Trove is the game that's on my channel, ended up kind of exploding in popularity, and I thought, man, you know, if it's a good thing that this game ended up blowing up the way that it did, because until Trove and all of that stuff ended up hitting on my channel, I was known for Nintendo games that I would play with my brother. And back in the day, you know, we were playing like old games and stuff like that, and using like modded Mario 64 co-op and everything like that, and those videos didn't really end up getting grabbed. They've slowly gotten grabbed over the years by the Nintendo Creative Program, maybe because they made X amount of views so that it gets on Nintendo's radar, and then they go, hey, wait a minute, we want all the money from these videos, which thankfully, you know, now they're actually going to be changing all of that. So just to read the actual point that they have more specifically here. So, end of the Nintendo's Creative Program and information about new guidelines. We are ending the Nintendo's Creative Program, or the NCP, to make it easier for content creators to make and monetize videos that contain Nintendo game content. We no longer ask creators to submit their videos to the NCP, and creators can continue showing their passion for Nintendo by following Nintendo's guidelines located at this link. So the NCP website will be taken down March 20th, 2019. We appreciate and encourage the continued support of content creators and thank them for their dedication to helping us create smiles. Yeah, you guys are a little bit too late for this, honestly speaking. Like they're acting like they're, you know, doing a heroic act here, which honestly speaking, it's been years of people really wanting them to change this, and I've seen a lot of really good channels kind of come and go just because of their stupid backwards way of thinking with all this stuff. So anyways, let's go through some of the guidelines, but I am generally going to assume that these guidelines are going to be having family-friendly content, and more than likely are not going to allow channels that overly criticize Nintendo videos. So we are humbled every day by your loyalty, blah 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 blah. As long as you follow these basic rules, you will be able to monetize all of this stuff. So you may monetize your videos and channel using the monetization methods separately specified by Nintendo. Other forms of monetization of our intellectual property for commercial purposes are not permitted. So basically covering their butts, saying you can't make a Mario doll and then sell it for yourself. You can pretty much just make money off of YouTube videos. So we encourage you to create videos that include your creative input and commentary. Videos and images that contain mere copies of Nintendo game content without creative input or commentary are not permitted. Now, I wonder how far this ends up actually going, because by the sounds of things, it sounds like we might actually be able to see a lot of channels bringing back analyzation to Nintendo videos, which, not that channels haven't done that in the past, but now they can actually end up getting paid for it. It'd be cool to see somebody, you know, take like the Mario trailer of the next game and kind of have a reaction to it. Like I could possibly end up doing a live reaction video to the next Metroid game, for example, and that I would actually be really down for. So you may, however, post gameplay videos and screenshots using Nintendo system features, such as the capture button on Nintendo Switch, without additional input or commentary. So this is really interesting, because up to this point, when you would upload, like Mario Kart was a prime example of Nintendo just trying to reap in the pennies rather than getting more money from game sales of content creators actually covering their content. So you would do a race in Mario Kart, and you could actually just have that uploaded straight to YouTube, where it would immediately end up getting grabbed by Nintendo for all of the content. But it seems like they're changing that as well, and saying that those gameplay videos that you end up sharing will actually be able to be monetized regardless of actually having commentary on them. So that's pretty cool. You are only permitted to use Nintendo game content that has been officially released, or from promotional materials officially released by Nintendo, such as product trailers or Nintendo Directs. Okay, so you can actually use product trailers and Nintendo Direct stuff and then just commentate over it, which is easy views for a lot of big Nintendo channels. Obviously, it's not going to apply to new, videos that are kind of in private, like alpha videos and stuff, like if somebody releases like a leak of Metroid or something. And I'm just using that as a prime example because that's probably the game that that I'm most excited for, even though I know everybody's stoked about Smash Bros. But at least now this means that I can end up playing Smash Bros on the channel, not only doing a single player series, but actually playing multiplayer with you guys, and that is absolutely awesome. So if you want to use the intellectual property of a third party, you are responsible for obtaining any necessary third-party permissions. Shut up, Nintendo. Everybody else, every third-party program out there, every third-party game, you like Nintendo, you guys are the ones that are backwards about this. Everybody else has jumped on board. Even Ubisoft ended up jumping on board, and they were horrible, dude. You remember that back in the day? So you are not permitted to imply or state that your videos are officially affiliated with or sponsored by Nintendo. That's a big no-no. And they reserve the right to remove any content that they believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with these guidelines. So basically saying that if there's a video that ends up getting super duper popular and maybe it's got way too many swears or is talking about like hating on a game or a negative review, they still obviously hold the rights to actually remove it, which, I mean, that's pretty standard in this day and age. Look at Diablo Immortal and how Blizzard just keeps taking those videos down and trying to hide everything to do with all the negativity on it. You know, like we're just kind of used to these game companies lying to us about certain things, right? But either way, that is absolutely awesome. There's a little bit more that you can end up reading in a Q&A and stuff, or, you know, frequently asked questions, but I'll leave that to your discretion and put that in the description below. Most of all, I wanted to make this video as both a celebration to announce to all of you folks watching at home that I myself will start playing a lot more Nintendo games on the channel again. Really excited about that. But further than that, it's not even for the simple fact of monetizing the videos. Most of all, it's like you got to consider how many hours myself and other content creators have to put into each of these videos, and to not be able to get paid for it. I mean, that would be the equivalent of working at McDonald's and not getting paid for it. Like, you wouldn't do that, right? But anyways, I also wanted this to be a video statement for any of you upcoming YouTube channels out there. I've seen lots of you guys in the comments asking about stuff, and this is a pretty hot topic right now, and I just wanted to voice my opinion about it and say that A+ for effort, Nintendo. You took way too long, but it's awesome that they actually ended up doing this. So thanks for watching, everybody. I didn't really have much input to bring towards this beyond any other channel out there, but I did think that this was worth actually mentioning, because this is insane. Like, this is a really, really big step in the right direction for Nintendo. I think they're going to see themselves increasing in game sales as well, just because now I can't even begin to imagine the amount of Nintendo related content we're gonna start seeing on YouTube, dude, because everybody, even a small channel like myself, has kind of just taken a sidestep and thought, like kind of like a strike, where it's like, we're not gonna do any Nintendo videos. I even just recently had a live stream talking about how I wasn't going to play Smash Bros. Despite wanting to, because of this very reason. But now that Nintendo is getting on board, hey, I'm all about Nintendo games, man, because they are awesome and they've been very, very good to me in the past. Thanks for watching, though, everybody. Very much appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you would throw a like, sub, hit that notification bell. And if you want to support me, go the extra mile. You can always, sponsor the YouTube channel with the join button, buy some of the real life merch, or check the link down below to Gawkbox, which is where you can donate for free. Sayonara, and stay epic, everybody.